When I was 6 years old and had just returned to the US from Germany, I enrolled in public school. One day, after class, I found myself in a mostly empty cafeteria building and decided to race my friend to the other side where the exit was. As we began running, I had a Jolly Rancher candy in my mouth and wasn't paying attention. Turning around to check how close my friend was, I accidentally ran into the corner of a cafeteria table. The impact knocked the wind out of me, and when I attempted to inhale, the candy lodged in my throat, making it impossible to breathe. Desperate to get my mother's attention as she walked out the door on the other end, I couldn't make a sound. Lightheaded and panicking, I feared falling backward and hitting my head on the ground, so I struggled to stay standing. Inevitably, I fell backward, feeling strangely disconnected, as if not entirely attached to my body. All sensation felt muted as everything began to fade to black around the edges of my vision. However, just as I sensed impending darkness, two large hands caught my back, gently setting me down on the ground. I was relieved not to have hit my head, though I couldn't see the person who had caught me. There's a gap in my memory, like falling asleep and waking up again. The next thing I knew, I could breathe again, and I was sitting cross-legged on a rising platform in a bright white void that extended infinitely in every direction. Surrounding me were television screens emitting black and white static, creating a soft noise. Despite the strange setting, I felt an intense sense of calm, peace, and apathy, as if everything was okay, and I had nothing to worry about. Then the elevator abruptly stopped rising, and a dreadful dropping sensation filled my stomach. The platform vanished, and a tugging sensation pulled me backward as I fell until I slammed back into my body, immediately sitting upright, coughing, and struggling to catch my breath. Though I didn't see my body, I went from falling to sitting up, feeling woozy and tired but otherwise fine. Surrounded by adults, my mother patted me on the back, asking if I was okay. Despite saying I was fine, a slightly disconnected feeling lingered, which persists even at age 35, along with a strange mix of loss and relief. Later, I learned that no one caught me when I fell. The mysterious hands I felt, apparently, didn't belong to anyone. According to the adults, I hit the table corner, gasped for air, then collapsed, hitting the ground hard enough to bounce. None of the adults knew what to do, so they watched as I turned blue. My best friend was sent to get my mother, a registered nurse, who returned and performed the Heimlich maneuver. The candy came out, but I still wasn't breathing, so she started CPR. After a couple of minutes, my eyes flew open, and I gasped for air while coughing and sitting upright. Post-event, I couldn't recall if it was before or after this incident that I developed short-term amnesia, eventually attributed to atypical seizures that never recurred. From then on, I felt disconnected from my family, realizing suddenly that they were irresponsible individuals and probably not the best people to rely upon. Additionally, I began having extremely vivid and realistic dreams every night, which persist to this day, involving taste, touch, smell, and feeling pain or movement with my eyes closed in a dream. From that point onward, I've also experienced various issues with migraines, visual snow, and paranormal events. Quite a strange journey.